Welcome everyone to the Side Drive Podcast. So welcome to another race review today. The NASCAR Truck Series or Gander Outdoors Truck Series. A lot of action tonight. A lot of beating and banging. A lot of wrecks. Just it looked a lot like the old Bristol.
The old Bristol's back.
A lot of bumping people for the positions. A lot of dumping people for some positions. That was
the one groove track.
So normally that doesn't work out very well, but at Bristol it really helps it out a lot.
Makes it exciting.
But before we start, you may notice that we have the Dale Jr. car out on our, I guess we could call it our victory lane.
Yeah, our victory lane spot here. So.
If you hadn't heard the news, Dale Jr. and his family was involved in a plane crash earlier today trying to get to Bristol, and fortunately everyone was okay. Haven't heard of any injuries or anything, so thankfully they're all okay. Looking forward to see Dale back in the broadcast booth pretty soon.
Yeah, it's really great to see that everybody walked away, in good health and all, and it's it's covered everybody really. Everybody's just glad the whole family's good. So can't wait to see Dale back in the booth and hear him call racing again.
Yeah, those that follow the podcast, they know that Dale is a big inspiration to this podcast. Whole reason why we started it because of his podcast. So thankfully everyone is okay, and just looking forward to seeing him back in the booth, and hope everyone is well.
Yep.
So to get into the race review, Brett Moffitt was on the pole, and he'd start off the race very strong lead. Ross Chastain was right there with him. He would have a caution with the 97, the 2, the 3, and Gus Dean in the 12. So looked like Sheldon Creed just, something happened with the 97. Sheldon Creed just got in the back of him, and unfortunately the rest of the guys was involved as well.
Yeah, and pretty much ended Jason Little's day. I mean, he don't run a full schedule. He just runs a limited schedule, and very unfortunate for that team.
Next restart, Moffitt would lead. Chastain on the outside would get a good launch and take the lead. Moffitt would eventually catch Chastain through the lap traffic, but lap traffic also got in Chastain or Moffitt's way, and that allowed Chastain to hold on to it and win stage 1. Starting off the playoffs, a lot of fire in him.
Yeah, he's just come out, almost got the pole, and but Brett Moffitt has edged him out just a little bit. But I believe Bristol really fits his kind of aggressive driving style, and he just wanted to start the playoffs in a good note. So.
Stage 2, all the Thor Sport trucks will go to pit road as their strategy. That would be key for later on in the race. Then it'd be Chastain versus Moffitt for the lead yet again. This time it'd be Moffitt on the outside, and he'd get the lead. We'd have a caution for Angela Ruck. Flat tire, I guess. Just spinning around, and unfortunately, a long night for her.
Yeah, I ain't sure she made contact with somebody. Bristol's really hard to really get away from anybody because there's always somebody in the way, and I ain't sure if she made contact and just made her spin around.
Yeah, at Bristol, it's always someone's in your way, you're in someone's way. It's just one of those tracks. Got to get through lap traffic well, and the lap traffic's got to know how to get out of the way well. So, not sure exactly what happened there, but
yeah, with the bottom groove where the PJ1's at, and that's the only place they got traction. Everybody's fighting for the bottom, and you just get a little bit high, and everybody's just fighting for that same spot.
We have a caution for Nemechek on the next restart. He would spin and get into the solder, and it would really negatively affect Sauter's day. The damage looked pretty bad, but it was still drivable. But Sauter just wasn't much of a threat after that.
Yeah, he had really come through the field in the first stage, and It's like he got a little loose and got into Nemechek, and Nemechek tried to save it, and then they come to the apron and they got into each other again, and that caused Nemechek to spin around and took about the half side of Sauter's truck off.
Yeah, then it would be Moffitt to the lead on the next. Actually, no. It'd be Chastain to the lead on the next restart, but Brett Moffitt would take it right back. And Ross Chastain, they're weaving through the traffic. Johnny Sauter's trying to stay on his lead lap. And
he manages to stay on there. He kept using some of the lap traffic because the lap traffic would stay on that bottom groove where everybody was trying to run, and he kind of used it to his advantage to keep on the lead lap.
Fortunately for Moffitt, he used it to help him get to the lead, and almost a photo finish to the line. Yeah. And Brett Moffitt will win stage 2.
Yeah, that's a very good move. Just an aggressive move, really, just to get to the stage win.
And before we get into stage 3, we want to give the shout outs for Who Found Dale Jr. in the past couple of thumbnails that we had. We had Walker Bulldog, and I think he's found it like every week ever since he found it, so thank you for playing along. And NASCAR IndyCar 48, so got some IndyCar fans coming on, so
that's cool.
Maybe we should do a IndyCar Indy 500 podcast sometime.
Yeah, that'd be kind of interesting. Getting venture on in some other races.
Yeah, so comment down below if we should get into IndyCar a little bit sometime.
Yeah, I mean, NASCAR is full time, but we like other races too, and we'll jump into that and see what we can do about it.
I mean, I know we don't know everything about IndyCar, but we can try a little bit of it.
Yeah.
And then, so stage 3, Ben Rhodes would lead off pit road. Then Ross Chastain would have a safety violation. Bit of a weird situation for him on pit road there.
Yeah, they call it a safety violation if one of the crew members kind of falls over the wall and puts his hand on the pit lane. It looked like the tire guy could have, nudged him back a little bit, and probably would have saved him from going in the rear of the field. So, yeah, he had to serve his penalty, and starting stage 3 is not where you want to be in the very back of the field.
Yeah, no, I mean, Bristol, that's one of the places you do not want to be in the back. It doesn't matter if you're extremely faster than the entire field. It's going to be difficult to get back to the lead.
And especially with this track just being in one groove now, passes real hard, and it's just like the old Bristol. You just have to give the bumper to him every once in a while.
So Grant Enfinger would take the lead because, as I mentioned before, he would pit on that first caution that we had, the first time he had the opportunity to pit. So he would take the lead. His truck didn't really handle that well through traffic, so just want to see how it handles up front. And he seemed to be really fast up there.
Yeah, once he got the clean air, he was really fast, and I believe that strategy really helped his truck.
We have a caution for the 02, the 15, and the 30. Now, next restart, it'd be Enfinger leading again, and then another caution. This time would be Natalie Decker. Unfortunately, yet another incident on the racetrack. Just hasn't been a very good year for her.
No, not too good. I don't think her spotter was too happy either.
Yeah, very upset spotter. Hopefully they get that communication issue resolved, and maybe they can put some races together.
Yeah, because you got to have it communication right, with your spotter and driver and crew chief. If not, you just ain't going to do no good in the race.
Especially at Bristol and places like Daytona, Talladega. But after that, Enfinger would lead yet again. Then this caution would be for Matt Crafton and Stuart Friesen. Crafton was under Friesen. Lap carbs coming up. The 02, very damaged truck. He didn't want to get stuck behind him, so he tried to maybe nudge Friesen up a little bit to give him some room. It just didn't work out the way he wanted it to, and ended up spinning Friesen.
Yeah, I believe Friesen was trying to use the lap traffic as a kind of pick, trying to keep Matt Crafton behind him, but was fighting for the same real estate and turned them both around. And I don't think Friesen was too happy at that moment.
No, neither one was really happy with each other at all. But
I don't know if anybody left Bristol real happy.
only Brett Moffitt, only the guy that won the thing. So, I'm even sure even he had some rivalry with somebody out there. Maybe Chastain.
Yeah, Chastain, he was coming through the field. I know he was in a hurry and he was giving the bumper, and that kind of caused a lot of the cautions.
It kind of did. I mean, it seemed like every caution that happened, it was because Ross Chastain passed somebody, got him out of the groove, and they was trying
got
to...
him loose, and then they just made him slow up and caused somebody else to get into him. So, I don't know. It's interesting.
So, it would be Enfinger versus Moffitt yet again on the restart. And then Ben Rhodes is trying to get around Moffitt a couple laps later. He would clip Jennifer Joe trying to get around Moffitt, and then Jennifer Joe went around, causing a caution. So, unfortunately, just not a good night for the ladies out there tonight.
No, not too good. They just get ran over out there.
Unfortunately.
It's kind of tough because the lap cars are trying to hog the bottom lane, which that was the racing groove, and I don't know if they should move out of the way.
I mean, if you move out of the way, I mean, it's really slick up there, and you're going to probably spin if you make a knee-jerk reaction, go to the high line. So it's either aggravate them and be in their way, or spin out and wreck them. So I mean, that's just...
You're going to get wrecked either way.
You're in the way no matter where you are at Bristol.
Unless you parked in the garage, I mean... So.
They're probably still in somebody's way.
Yeah.
I think in the Xfinity Series practice, they had a car coming out and ran into Chase Briscoe. So
really, and I saw that Natalie Decker said she probably got run by an Xfinity car too.
Or Haley Deegan.
Yeah.
So yeah, even in the garage, you're in the way. So
yeah,
probably in the parking lot, you're in the way at Bristol. Yeah. I mean, that's just how it is.
Yeah, we hadn't ever been in the garage in Bristol yet, but I know at Martinfield it's pretty crazy too.
Yeah, and even in the stands was in the way. So.
Where do you stand?
You can't. I mean, even if you're watching at home on your TV, you're in the way. Get out of the way.
Yeah.
During that caution, Tyler Ankrum, it was your pick to win, had some engine issues, and
I think he would have ran a very good race. I mean, he has some good speed, but he had this electrical issue with his motor shutting off, and I don't know. It's just, I'm sorry. I'll pick you again.
Both of our picks didn't have the best of luck. I mean,
it was because of the full moon tonight, I believe.
The side draft curse of the full moon.
Yes.
So if it's full moon, next couple of days, look out. If you're our picks, you just might as well have a driver swap.
I'm going to have to pay attention to the full moon.
Yeah.
I'm going to apologize to all the drivers I picked this weekend. Or maybe reverse and they'd be better.
Yeah, so next restart, Enfinger versus Moffitt yet again, and then another caution not too long after that. This time it'd be Lassard. He would get pretty much dumped by Ross Chastain.
Pretty much.
No other way to really put it. He was very upset with Ross Chastain after the race. And, I mean, he was having a career night. I mean, he was up there racing in the top 5. I mean, I would be upset with Chastain, too. Doesn't matter if you're in the playoffs or what. I mean, he was having a career night.
I mean, be running up there around the top 5, at Bristol, I mean, that's a phenomenal job, really. And, I like to see him racing more trucks and stuff. And, yeah, I'd be upset too if I was, run up there and I get kind of spun like that. So.
And then it'd be Brett Moffitt versus Ben Rhodes. Moffitt was able to get the lead during that cycle. Then we'd have another caution again with Gustine, the 02 and the 54. And this caution was really interesting because during commercial break, tow truck would come push Natalie Decker, try to get to the either pit road or trying to get back on the racetrack. I'm not really sure. But the tow truck would end up spinning the 54. So
she really wasn't having a good night. If the tow truck is wrecking you, then you're having a real bad night.
Is that the way the tow truck? Had a lot of crashed trucks out there. Is that its way of protesting that it doesn't want to do this anymore?
I don't know. It's very unusual circumstance, kind of.
Well, I mean, if you look a couple weeks ago, Iowa in the Xfinity Series, you had one of the guys accidentally run into one of the trucks.
Yeah.
Maybe these officials are starting to revolt.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like I don't know if she was trying to get to the pit road, she was trying to hit the brakes or what was going on. It just spun her. So I don't know.
Then for some reason, I guess she had to just get towed back to the garage. I'm not really sure why. I mean, if she was going to be able to make it, getting pushed, I don't understand why end of night. But
here, I just pull you back instead of just push you. I don't know.
It's a really interesting event. I mean,
it was definitely a full moon. If the tow trucks will wreck you on it, you're supposed to help me, not wreck me.
So after that, Brett Moffitt would take the lead. They would have another caution for the 21. Sam Mayer in the wall won the K&N East race. So he was showing a lot of speed there up until that point. So unfortunately,
and once again, Ross Chastain.
Yeah, Ross Chastain was mixed up in that event. I mean, you gotta love the aggression, but sometimes it's just a little too much.
You got to have a little bit of patience too. I mean, don't just dump the guy. I mean, you can lay a bumper to him or whatever. That's racing, but you just kind of push him up into the wall, and it's not too cool. But he was running very good. I mean, hats off to him. He ran the Canyon West and won it, and then turn around and run the trucks at night. I mean, it's just I believe he'd be really good to run the trucks.
Yeah, 150 laps in the K&N race, and then an additional 200 in the trucks. So a lot of laps ran by him.
Yeah, he did a great job. I mean, he's up there in the top 10. So.
And then after that, Brett Moffitt would lead. Great battle with him and Chandler Smith. It ended up being Brett Moffitt winning the race and clinching the spot in the next round. So he doesn't have to worry about any issues at Canadian Tire and can run Las Vegas carefree. But then you'll have to go to I believe it's Talladega next. So not safe from Talladega just yet.
Yep.
But after that, it wasn't done. The action was just getting started, actually. I had a lot of argues on pit road and crew chiefs.
Crew chiefs getting into it. Not just the drivers, the crew chiefs are pushing each other and arguing. And, man, I wish I was there.
If I was there, I'd probably start pushing people myself.
You're in my way. But
I'm not mad at anybody. I just want to push.
Yeah, Chandler Smith. I mean, he does an incredible job in the truck, and Kyle Busch. If you ever do watch this, you need to hire him full time to run your KBM trucks.
If Kyle Busch is watching this, I don't know how he got here, but thanks for watching, Kyle.
Somebody tell him hire this boy.
If you're in Bristol and you're watching this video, for some reason not paying attention to anything else, find Kyle Busch, show him this video, and say hire Chandler Smith full time next season.
Yeah.
And then record his reaction, send it to us at side_draft on Twitter. Anyways, I mean that was just about as Bristol as you can Bristol.
It was an exciting race. I mean, it was just it had a little feel of old Bristol. Everybody really loves, and one time they like we need multiple grooves, and you get multiple grooves, and I don't like that. So now we're going back to the one groove thing. So, what do you think is going to happen towards Xfinity in the Cup Series? Do you think we'll get another groove going, or?
We might see that in the Xfinity Series. Saw a lot of people trying to do that during practice. Just wasn't working. If it does work, it's going to be towards the end of the race, and that might get some interesting factors. What would the second place guy do if trying to go around the first place guy trying to win the race? I look at the Joe Gibbs Racing guys, and it looks like it's going to be Kyle Busch and Christopher Bell, and then Eric Jones and that affiliated other team. So look like those three are the best cars right now.
We'll see, because it's going to be a long race, and anything can happen.
Also, I think Tyler Reddick's going to, if the High Line does get developed, it's going to be because of Tyler Reddick. I mean, he's like Kyle Larson on that aspect, and I think if anyone can do it, it's going to be him. Just like we saw Brett Moffitt, perfect the mid lane there. I think that's going to be some similarities between them two. But I think we're going to have a lot of players, a lot of comers and goers, and looking forward to the races, the Xfinity, and especially the Cup. I mean, I haven't seen them on track yet, so I don't know who's good yet, but it's going to be insane. If we're going to see at least half of what we saw tonight, it's going to be good for the rest of the weekend. Yeah,
because we had tempers flaring at Watkins Glen, and maybe it'll continue on Bristol, because it's night racing, short track, and temperatures are short, and who knows?
Yes,
spotters may walk out. I don't know.
May see the spotters fight. I mean, anything can happen. But let us know what you thought of this race down in the comments below, and we especially enjoyed the race. It was, awesome seeing Bristol being Bristol.
Yeah. Bristol's back.
It's finally back. I don't know where it went, but it's back. I mean, it's been exciting the past couple of years, but I think we're in for the best show that we've seen in a long time at Bristol, and that's saying something.
Yeah, wish was there.
Yeah. You only got tickets, pit passes.
Please. It's called.
All right. So I mean, I know there's a lot of NASCAR YouTubers there as well, so we're kind of missing out on the party, but we wish we were there. We're there in spirit.
Wasn't able to go this weekend, so.
Yeah, we was hoping we could, but just didn't work out. But we'll see you for our Xfinity Series race review, and also the Cup Series race review coming up next couple of days. Yep. So we'll see you then.